What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. It's finished here. Monaco 0, Tottenham 0. And that was one of the stinkiest performances I've seen in a while, man. And seriously, like, we got absolutely outplayed today. They had multiple chances in the first half. Second half was just, it seemed like we were just waiting to die. That goal never came. And you got to thank the gods for Vicario today, because Vicario saved us. He made 8 saves today, and just off the top of my head, like 4 of them were like top saves as well. Like, literally, he was our best player by far. And you know me, I'm a big believer in Thomas Frank. I'm a big believer that he's going to get it right eventually, and we're going to start seeing attacking football. But today was on him, man. Today was on him today, and the tactics that he deployed. Like, there were multiple times when Spurs got the ball in the middle of the park, and you could see there was a clear pass on forward, but sideways passes. And that's got to be instruction, because it's something that we're starting to see week in, week out, or something that we have seen week in, week out, just sideways passes through the midfield. And the only way that we look to attack is at the wide areas. And Odegaard did a good job of that in the first half. He was attacking the space, attacking his man. He was definitely the best player, or the best performance I've seen from him in a while, and our best player in terms from an offensive stage. And in the first half, but he was non-existent in the second. Kudus, again, he did well from wide areas, but we need to do more from the central areas. We've got the players to do it. Like, they've got it in them to pass forward at least, and to find their man, and we're just not doing it, man. And it's just becoming really hard to watch these Spurs games, and today was one of the hardest ones, because we were lucky. We were so lucky to get out of there with 0-0 today. Like, if that game finishes 3-0, no one's batting an eyelid. Like, seriously, like, that was daylight robbery, what we saw on the pitch today. And it's just like, it's just so hard to watch. And we're lucky. We've just got to count our lucky stars that Vicario was in goal today, and he saved us.
And Minamino didn't have a shooting.
Yeah, oh my God. Like, in the space of 5 minutes, right, he could have had a hat-trick.
It was incredible. And it's hard to watch the football. The football is really kind of boring. It's kind of, we do the same thing every time. We get the ball out wide to Kudus, or on this occasion to Odegaard. At least on this occasion, we were more of a threat on both wings. We weren't just relying on Kudus down the right-hand side to attack, but we kind of wait for them to progress the ball forward, wait for the overlaps on the fullback, try and get crosses in, try and basically span the box of crosses. They're playing with 3 centre-backs today, and we were getting very little joy. The only kind of joy we were getting was set pieces. We were looking, their keeper was looking a bit dodgy from set pieces. He came and fumbled a few of them, and we nearly scrambled a few over the line. But Monaco were cutting us open, and you can kind of forgive an away performance where you're looking a bit stodgy and you're not really attacking very well. If at least defensively you're looking solid and you're not giving away too many chances. But today we were so open. Monaco found it so easy to cut through us. It was a sight to behold. I don't think we've given away as many chances as we have today in other games. I know even Boda, we were very open as well, and we obviously conceded 2 goals in that game, and that was also a really poor performance. But today was even worse. We were literally just sliced through. There was no organisation. Monaco must be scratching their heads as how they didn't score the level of chances. They had 5 big chances on the day, 2.45 expected goals as well. Spurs having 0.87. So stats bear it out. We were just second best. I mean, in the first half, at least I think we had a semblance of control throughout a lot of that half, albeit even in that half. Monaco was still creating the better chances, and they had, Vicario had to make some really top saves. But I think in that half at least, we had a lot of possession, and we were looking decent going forward. Getting a lot of set piece situations, playing through the lines pretty comfortably. But it wasn't anything to shout about. But at least it was, I wasn't too disheartened. But second half was a shit show, absolute shit show. We were all over the place. And I'm struggling to think, of our if this is going to be our kind of way of attacking. Is this what Frank has up his sleeve? Is this what he's planning for us? I understand, and I think he's right. There's a lot of new attackers here. Moane, again, only had 25 minutes. He's barely played. Solanke's still injured. Xavi hasn't even started that many games. He's came off the bench today. Odebear's only getting 3 starts in a row. He's still kind of getting to grips with being with the team. Kudus is obviously new. So you have to give it a bit of, give the manager a bit of grace. Like everyone is still got a gel. It's still very early on, but things don't seem to be getting better. That's the problem.
Yeah.
We're looking more stodgy when things are not improving. The plan does seem to be the same. The centre mids aren't given license to pass the ball forward, or are instructed, or don't want to pass forward. I don't know which one it is, but it seems as though whoever plays there is playing the ball side to side. So I'm starting to think it's a bit of an instruction.
It's got to be instruction, right? Because no matter who you play there, it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's got to be instruction, surely. Like I can't for the life of me say that, each and every player just want to play those safe and backwards passes every single time.
Yeah, like it's one
because there's options as well to pass it forward.
Exactly. It's one thing if they're like playing it forward and it's a loose pass, and you can say, okay, that's obviously not instruction to play out play. You can say it's an individual error, but the fact they're playing it so safe, they're kind of minimising risk at every point, and it seems to be happening every game. Our only point of attack is to get it out wide, essentially, and try and get as many crosses in as possible, and it's too easy to deal with. We don't have enough avenues of attack. Bergvall today was shocking in the number 10 position. Didn't influence the game enough at all.
And talk about those 2 moments where he lost the ball in such dangerous areas in the first half. Nearly gave away 2 goals. 2 errors leading to a shot in the first half. And look, I love Bergvall. I think everyone loves Bergvall. You got to put it down to an off day from him today, but it was a really off day.
But it seemed as though that second half, it was like we were sitting back. We were soaking up pressure, but we weren't like no one was picking up their men. They were free in the box. How many times did Minamino have to be free in the box before someone picked him up? It was ridiculous.
And you're talking about the first half or second half? Second half, yeah. In the first half, how many times did Balogun go through on goal and break the lines of our defence as well?
Yeah, but I'm like, obviously he's like making a run off a defender. I can understand that. Like, he's fast, he's strong. I'm talking about when they're getting cutbacks. And they're getting 3 men.
Just completely free.
Time after time. They're hitting it over. Vicario's making worldly saves. And still, no one is picking them up. No one is putting a challenge in. It's so infuriating. And when you're playing as we are going forward, and then you're not even defending well, you've got to question things, obviously. Yeah. Now, it's very early on. At the end of the day, we got a point, and we are still unbeaten in the Champions League. And, 2 away draws is not the worst thing in the world.
But it's 2 away draws that, first of all, these two teams have only picked up 2 points in the Champions League out of their first 3 games. And it's 2 draws where, we probably should have lost both those games, judging on the performances.
Yeah, we were the worst team both games.
Yeah.
We should have been, we're lucky to be sitting here. At least in the Boda game, we had a bit of quality about us to get back in the game. In this game, we showed nothing. We showed no ability. I mean, I guess we did have a half late rally in the last 5 minutes, nearly created something. But even then, Brennan had that chance. That was maybe the best we created the whole day.
Brennan, man, the game was literally there in the palm of his hands, and he fluffed his lines. Yeah, it would have been. But sometimes it just goes like that, doesn't it? You get battered all game, and just something falls for you in the last minute. You got to take your chance, and Brennan didn't do that. Xavi Simons, man, I'm starting to get a bit worried. I know he hasn't had too much game time, but you're looking for someone to come on and grab the game by the scruff of the neck for a player that's not playing well, and Lucas Bergvall. And Xavi is supposed to be that player for us, that big money signing in the summer, 60 million, 65 million, however much it was. And he was supposed to be our star signing this summer alongside Mohamed Kudus. And I think apart from when he came on against Brighton in their last half an hour, he played really well. I haven't really seen a good performance from him, to be honest, in a Spurs shirt. And I think today might have been the worst of the lot. I thought he pretty much lost the ball, picking the wrong moments every time he got on the ball. There was one moment where he gets the ball on the edge of the box, and you're thinking, just maybe shift and shoot, or shift and play the ball into the box. But he does some sort of back heel to Archie Gray, and the move breaks down. And I mean, I thought he was terrible. I thought he put in a bit of a disaster class when he came on today.
Yeah, I don't think he was good when he came on. What I would say is he had obviously at one moment we had a 4-on-2 and he absolutely screwed it up. The problem, the reason I'm not going to criticise him too much, despite I agree he didn't have good performances, we had so little of the ball in that second half. It's like, so every time we did get it in the final third, it was like hyper focus on can we do something with it. And then Xavi was the one a few times it fell to kind of create something. And at least he was getting on the ball a bit more than Bergvall.
But it felt like it broke down every time he got the ball.
Yeah. Yes and no. I think it broke down with everyone, is my point. And I think we're hyper focusing on one or two moments in around the box. And I guess at this level, I understand that because that's all it takes at this level, one or two moments. But we shouldn't be sitting here saying, oh, he lost the ball on the edge of the box on that one moment, so he had a stinker. Like, we should be in there 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times in a half, not once. You know what I mean? So I kind of feel like if he had more opportunities to show what he's about, maybe he could have shown more. But the pressure on him to create something in those very few moments he got, obviously he wasn't up to it in those moments, and he didn't have a good game. I agree with you, but I think it's more the overall kind of how we were attacking.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I don't.
You could say everyone had a shocker in that.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But Xavi is that big money signing he's brought in for big moments, and he just couldn't produce one. Even when he was moved over to the left, like he saw quite a bit of the ball over the left, and he couldn't even shift and play a ball into the box. I just felt like it just broke down, muscled off the ball, picking the wrong options. It's just a poor performance. And when you're talking about individual players, that's what you got to talk about.
And I said he was poor.
And he had a very, very poor performance when he was on the left or when he was through the middle. And look, don't get me wrong, like I'm still a massive believer in Xavi, and I still think he's going to come good. I believe in his talents. I think he's an unbelievable player with unbelievable talents, and he will come good eventually. But today, he put in an absolute disaster class. That's just the reality.
What do you think of Frank's subs? Bring on Spence when we need a goal?
Yeah, you know what, though? Like, at the time, I was saying, why is he going for a draw? Why is he bringing on Spence? But after that change, that was probably our best moment in the game.
Yeah.
So I just didn't... I don't know, man.
Like, did he bring him on? He brought Spence on. Yeah, I guess the last few minutes were...
He brought on Spence with 10 minutes to go, and then like, after those last 10 minutes we actually were trying to do stuff. Like before that, we weren't trying to do anything. I think
really just in stoppage time, really, wasn't it?
Maybe it was just in stoppage time, the last 6 minutes or whatever. But it was in that moment when Spence was on the pitch, is what I'm trying to say. Like that, like I criticised the sub at the time, like being like, why are you just trying to go for a draw? Why not go for the win? You take off Kudus in the last 10 minutes when it's 0-0 and you could go grab a goal. I just didn't get that. But it's not the way like I view football. Like if it's 0-0, no matter how bad you're playing, you still go for the win, in my opinion. It's just very, very frustrating. I think the whole game was just so frustrating, man. And I think it was just a terrible performance from Tottenham. It needs to get a lot better. Frank needs to start learning from his mistakes and start, giving his midfielders a bit of license to go forward and to create things from the middle of the park.
And look, you saw how Monaco moved the ball around and create chances. And you're thinking,
they were pinging it around us at times.
Don't get me wrong, they got good players. Akulish, good player. But do they really have that much? Their players that much better than ours that we can't, at least play a bit of football like they were doing. It's like we're so kind of focused on doing these very set things. Like we're not giving our players a bit of license to create some magic. It seems at the moment.
Yeah, and it feels like you try walk it into the box to get these like high XG chances. Like sometimes you just need to take a shot from 25 yards, 30 yards. Get a goal, get yourselves in front, and then manage the game. But like, we're just trying to get it to wide areas and just spam crosses into the box. That's it feels like that's what our game plan is.
Our last 5 performances have really all been apart from Leeds, which fair enough, we won a tough away game. Monaco, Villa, Boda, Wolves, really concerning.
Yeah, all really poor performances, and that leaves us in 15th place in the Champions League group phase after 3 games.
A point behind 8th.
A point behind 8th, and we got Copenhagen at home coming up next. We have to win that game. There's no. If we don't win that game, then we could be in trouble. But we got PSG away after that. So I think like top 8 might be a bit of a stretch for us, to be honest, looking at the last few games, because we got PSG away and Dortmund at home. I think we need to get a win in one of those to finish. Flying. Yeah, and we need to get a win in one of those to finish in the top 8, I think.
Absolutely. Because you're going to have to beat Copenhagen. You're going to have to beat Slavia, for sure.
Those have to be no negotiation. 6 points in those 2 games.
And then who else is there?
Dortmund at home and PSG away.
And another one.
Is there another one in there as well?
We've got 5 more games.
Who's the other game?
Frankfurt away as well.
Oh, we got Frankfurt away. Yeah, which is also a difficult game.
So we need 10 points. I think probably.
I don't think we make top 8.
10 points from 5 games.
I think we needed to win this one if we were going to make it. I just don't. I can't. Look, I think PSG they're going to absolutely wipe the floor with us if we play like this. However, we pulled it out of the bag when we played PSG in the Super Cup, and we had a very good game. But PSG, were just off the back of a holiday, and it was like a pre-season game for them. We already had our pre-season, and both teams in different phases. So I think it'll be a very different game when we go out to Paris in a couple of games. Away at Frankfurt, we could do a job there. And at home to Dortmund is going to be a tough game. But we could win that if we put our minds to it.
Our home form's just been so bad.
Yeah.
Even against Vicario, nothing to shout out about.
I think we'll do very well to finish the top 8, but I just can't see it at this moment in time.
Well, the way we're playing, I agree. We were predicting 17 points before.
Yeah.
And hasn't turned out. I think we just got a lot of work to do.
We were predicting that on the back of those PSG and Man City performances. Mm-hmm. Where have those gone?
Well, we haven't played. The thing is, we played. This is what we were saying. This is exactly what I said after the PSG and City games. It's not those games necessarily in the setup that I'm worried about, because those teams are really going to leave all the space you want because they are coming to beat you. They're coming to win. It's these games against good sides, but are going to show you a bit of respect. They're also going to try and win the game, but they're not going to leave you the space that City and PSG are going to leave you. Those I want to see, because then you have to be a bit more intricate. You're going to have to show a bit more attacking endeavour, but you're going to have to push your team up a bit more without leaving yourself too exposed. And we can't seem to do that at the moment. It seems as though we haven't got any sort of attacking structure in play to break teams down who aren't giving us the space that City and PSG give us. But defensively as well, it's like if we push too much, we're getting caught out too much as well. Yeah. So it leaves us being a bit more defensive. But it's not nice to watch. And also, we're still conceding chances and goals. Yeah. So that's the worry.
I guess if we want to finish on a couple of positives, I think a positive today was Wilson Odebear. That first half performance, I thought, really stepped up for the team, and I think that's more evidence of him going in the right direction. And I think another positive, as however badly we've been playing over the last few weeks, we're still, even when we're playing terrible, we're not losing too many games, you know what I mean? Like, we're still stuck in the game. Vicario got us, a get out of jail free card today a couple of times, but we didn't lose.
No, but I don't think playing like that is sustainable.
No, I agree with that, but we have performed poorly in quite a few games and still haven't lost. So whatever you want to say about Thomas Frank and the style of play and all that kind of stuff, it hasn't been great for a large part of the season so far. And we've only lost 2 of those games.
Yeah, Gray as well.
And when I'm taking that as a positive, that's when things are quite bad.
I think Gray was a positive as well. I think he was quite good.
Yeah,
I thought him when he moved into midfield as well. And I actually thought Moani interesting.
Yeah, I agree with that, Moani.
When he came on, a bit of hold-up play, he actually showed something. And he didn't really have too many opportunities to score or whatever. But I thought in his hold-up play was actually quite good. I like that. I like
Moani. There was one moment when he kind of flicked it over the defender, and he was actually trying to make stuff happen, and he was being a bit aggressive. It was Javi that was the one that really disappointed me. I thought João Palhinha as well had some good moments in the game, but look, it was all down to the Vicario today. He was by far our best player, probably the best player on the pitch, to be honest.
Man, to be honest, when was the last time you saw a keeper have as good a game as that?
Not for a long time.
Probably that's up there with
probably the Vicario against Man City.
That's up there with one of the best goalkeeping performances in the Tottenham shirt I think I've seen.
Yeah, I mean that is his best performance in the Tottenham shirt. Up there with that Man City. Was it the 3-2 game? Was it the 3-2 game? The 4-0 game. Sorry.
Yeah. I think I might be one. I'm trying to think off the top of my head who better goalkeeping performances than that one we've just witnessed.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Very few. So many world-class saves in there, and we got a clean sheet as well.
Yeah, I think Porro needs to do a lot better. By the way, today I thought he put in a really poor performance, particularly in the first half. His just passing was so wayward. You got to look at who else? Richarlison as well. He needs to be doing a lot more. Like, what does Richarlison offer us? Like since those first 3 games of the season where he put in worldies, he's offered us nothing, literally nothing.
But I feel like as well, he's just so isolated all the time.
But even when he gets the moments, like he's just like in the first 3 games of the season, he was dropping deep, he was linking up the play, he was being aggressive, he was winning the ball back. Like he's not doing any of that at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. But he was doing some like exceptional stuff in those first few games. Like he was battling centre backs, he was coming away with the ball, he was holding up in like really well.
He was coming into the midfield and winning it back.
And now it's like that's really left his game. But that was also never kind of sustainable to keep that up. You've got to get players around him. He's got to get better service as well. I feel like we're not getting any service into him, and and he's not doing well enough as well. He's not offering anything.
Yeah.
But I think
Moani's got to come in though. Moani's got to come in on the weekend.
Moani start.
Yeah, Moani's got to come in on the weekend. I think he showed glimpses today, so I'm happy with that cameo from Moani. But look, at the end of the day, nowhere near good enough today. We got out of jail massively. The score says 0-0, but on the balance of play, it should have been about 3-4-5-0.
Yeah.
And like literally name your scoreline. It could have been that today. So that is our instant match reaction. Let us know your thoughts on the game in the comments section below.